Hey everybody, welcome to Lex's Lounge. How you all doing? I am out on a walk again. And what am I doing out on a walk? Well, I am actually just coming back from the post office because I needed to mail away a gift for a winner off of my Instagram page. And by the way, if you've never seen my Instagram, a link to it down in the video description. I do quite a few contests on there off the main channel. But in any case, that is not the topic of the video. The topic of today's video is Joe Biden's awful campaign launch video, which I watched just before I exited the house. So I'll preface this by saying that I actually have nothing against Joe Biden. He's a very nice person. As Barack Obama has once said, if you don't like Joe Biden as a person, regardless of what you think of him politically, then you have a problem. And I actually agree with Joe Biden politically quite often, to add to that, but I still think that he's the wrong guy to lead the Democrats in the 2020 season, and that's why I've never had him in my top 5 in terms of my rankings for contenders for the Democratic primary. I was even annoyed when they used to include him in polls before he announced he was running. My top 5 are Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and Pete Buttigieg, probably in that order. And then we get to Joe Biden, who on my list is probably in 6th or 7th place, and his campaign launch video. So it's 2.5 minutes long. Again, I'll link to it down in the video description if you want to look at it. 2.5 minutes long, completely and totally devoid of any policy. It's just full of big cliches and patriotism. He shows Martin Luther King. He quotes the Declaration of Independence. And he offers nothing specific. He spends a lot of the video talking about how bad of a guy Trump is and how outrageous Donald Trump's reaction to Charlottesville was, which is kind of an obvious point to make. Like, if all you can say is Trump is a really bad guy and let's all be outraged and let's beat him, that's kind of a low bar. To me, any one of the top 5 people I mentioned can just beat Trump and say he's terrible. What puts my top 5 in the top 5 is their ability to barrel right past the Trump question, quickly mention that he's a bad person, which is kind of obvious to everybody, including many of his supporters, and get to the issue of why a bad person was elected in the first place. Because people felt like the system was badly broken and they couldn't handle another establishment pick and they needed to throw somebody at the system to blow it up. So those good candidates immediately start offering up policy solutions to fix the very, very broken system. Meanwhile, what does Joe Biden do after he launches his campaign video? On the same day, he goes to his Comcast-sponsored big donor fundraiser. So that's who he's gonna be. He's gonna be the corporate centrist, full of cliches and chasing after the big money. And that is just not the right candidate to lead the Democrats this time around, even though I am aware that in theoretical matchups he polls extremely well against Trump, because Joe Biden attracts some of Trump's older demographic support base. But if beating Trump is the maximum thing you're going to aim for, Democrats, you're going to be in trouble, because you got to actually come up with policy solutions and be heavy on them. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about Joe Biden. Subscribe, hit that like button if you found this useful, and we'll catch you all next time on Lex's Lounge.